let's see. Last week, 6.6 which showed us custom feature to configure the Robots.txt file to add new index folder, and also to add the meta tags index folder of sites that are in staging. Then validate about the CI version 1, the actions and everything, we test. So today, demos.
I have a small one about robots text file.
Yes, topics.
If we have time, I just want to quickly review a small PR. Just talk about it for a second.
Okay. Status. So option 1, I think. No, we didn't have anything to triage on Thursday for option 1, but we did some triage issues. 26, nothing here. Option core. 6.6. So we talked about that. Then PdfPig, the thing that extracts the text from PDF for search engine. A fixed an exception in ContainedPart display driver. Culture native name both AdminCulturePicker and ContainedCulturePicker. This is something that we saw when was that in the team. We asked why is the language in the language itself. So we don't know what language you are going to say. And we shall fix it. So nice feeling like the setup screen drop down in the admin when we use the AdminCulturePicker. Google service dependencies, because Mike found out that some features don't need to depend on other features, like this one. And also fixed some CSS classes, by the way, because otherwise they will not be available without the other feature, right?
Yeah, those are just missed during the Font Awesome 6 upgrade.
Okay. This doesn't exist anymore.
Correct. That's a new name in Font Awesome 6.
Let's try that. It's still used in lots of places. Interesting, right?
Yeah, and I think also the icon picker that we have, we're using a very old package that doesn't even support Font Awesome 6. I think that's another issue. Yeah.
It's in a lot of places. So I wonder what, because we would have seen it if it was released.
Well, some of them are still exist, so some of them are still valid. But like if it's so if the icon belongs to a brand, in this case, it's a Google brand. So they moved it from FA Solid to brands.
I see.
But a lot of those still valid. Not all of them, though.
Something like that with a brand tree
Yeah, like Facebook or OpenID or anyone.
Maybe. Okay, interesting. Like this one. Okay, Facebook is there, and that's wrong. Microsoft, no, Google. So there are some Facebook actually. Here and there in the Facebook app. So it's just saying.
Yeah, I think actually I have a PR for that. Because one of there is adding a Facebook pixel PR that also I think fixes that.
Friends. Interesting. That should be a compilation error to say no. As it is still okay, back there. Missing using statement for Serilog. This is in the template, so we didn't see that at compile time. It's just when the template is generated and compiled. We should have that in the unit test. Trying to generate the templates. We would have got some new issues. Replace NLog methods that are not obsolete. And it's interesting because there was a review on the PR by the creator of NLog, on at least the SPNet integration. So I'm sorry, we got some suggestions about how to do the things better. Because no images to no files, because media is more about just images. Fix content localization docs, features, add stereotype as filter for content URL, new feature from Mike, that you can create custom URLs that will show content types in the list of the available content types, but only for specific stereotypes. So you could say, for instance, show me all the widget types, show me all the menu item types, and so on. Update Identity.Web 2. It probably fixed a typo in the text. Include Google Analytics and tag manage when user wants. Then. So there's a feature in ASP.NET, eye tracking consent feature, that can be used to record and check if the user has accepted consent, and only if this is fine, then the Google Analytics will be injected. So I believe we should, or we do have a feature that will set this field. Or maybe we don't. But
yeah, I don't think we do.
Lombic must have a feature like that.
Yeah, I heard that Lombic has, because I needed one, and so I was kind of starting to look at it, but in Orchard Core we do not.
Which is interesting because here I think we are missing, because we have this feature here that will inject the Google Analytics. So it's breaking lots of sites right now.
No, it doesn't, because if you're not using it, we still trust it as a true. So it won't break unless you use it. Yeah, that's why.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So it won't break anything, but if you do set it to false, then it won't. Okay. So I assume the next feature that would manage that should set it to false when the next feature is enabled, such that it disables that also. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, the user will say don't track, and then if they reject it, then we just
And even if the user doesn't say don't track, if the feature is enabled, then it should say don't track by default. So it should register the eye tracking consent feature with
Correct.
false.
Correct.
And then the user can say yes or no. And if it says yes, then okay. Interesting. Yeah, that would have been worth to add a comment here to explain that the feature is not defined by default. So this will just enable that otherwise that people it's not obvious that people will understand that, oh, if it's not there, that let's assume it's true. They will be like, well, if it's not there, let's assume it's false. No, we really want it to be true. If nothing else is adding the feature. Okay. You were there when I mentioned the difference between this one and this one.
Yeah. Yep.
To persist. Okay, good questions.
Well, it's not that I persist. It's the fact that our part of the file that we have for the editor, we're suggesting to use a capital string. So because that's the standard we're using, we just need to keep it that way. Otherwise, we change everything, right?
Okay. Let's do a fight. Oh, it's 180 or 61. Still 180. Interesting. All good. Okay, done with status. Demo, Mike. Ready?
All right, you see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome. So there's this PR. So one of the issues, well, maybe not issue, but a challenge that we have today is that the only way we can expose the routes.txt for the tenant is by placing a robots.txt file on the file system of each site or globally. And the challenge with that is that there's no easy way to modify that file per tenant. So I added an ability to drive the content of the robots.txt file through settings by using middleware. And so I just want to kind of go through it real quick and show what I have done, and we'll review the design because Sebastian requested that. So if we go here, so now we have a new setting. If you under this SEO feature, you'll see this new setting. It goes under configuration, there's settings, and then SEO, and that will take you to this page. So in this page, there's a couple things that are set by default, which is add rule to allow all robots, and then disallow admin routes. And those are on by default if you do not have a robots.txt file. So this is a default. And then at the bottom here, there's also room where you can add your custom rules. If you have special rules, we're not going to create a checkbox for everything possible out there. So this right here will be up to you to add. So with this settings right here, if I go to my robots file, as you can see, it's generated based on my settings. So if I go to here and I remove this and refresh here, and boom, they're gone. If I want to allow robots to access my admin, I can change that and this will go away. So it's all basically configurable here. And this right here is part of the SEO module. So as soon as you enable the SEO module, this is available automatically. However, there's sometimes, or some people might already be using robots.txt file. So you can't really overwrite what they have. So if that file exists on your file system and the static files provider feature is enabled, we're going to take that file and ignore our settings, because otherwise there'll be a breaking change. So to show you what I have here is I actually created on my file system for this site, I created a robots.txt file inside the www root folder. But I don't see it right now, and because I've disabled that static file provider. So if I enable this feature, static file provider, this will read that text file. And if I go in here now and I refresh this page, you'll see that it's reading the text file that I have on my local system, not my settings. And this is what I have in my file system file. So if I go to right here and I refresh this page, now I'll get a warning, because we want to let people know, hey, the reason why these settings are ignored because this file already exists on your file system. So in here, if you refresh this page, you'll see this warning, and then you're like, okay, I got to go and delete that file so I can take this, which is a better way of doing it, I think. So if I go and disable it, so we can take on our settings and refresh it. So there you go, the file is gone. If I refresh here, it's taking my settings. This is all good. Another thing that we took it a step further and added rule for sitemaps. If you go and you enable the sitemaps feature, then now, and you go to your settings, you'll see a new setting that popped up here. So you see right there, there's a new settings called include all sitemaps. And this setting is only available if you have the sitemaps enabled, because otherwise it makes no sense. And so what this file does, it checks all the sitemaps that you might have, and if any exist, it'll automatically include them. So if I actually pre-created sitemaps just for the sake of this demo. So if I go under the SEO here and I go to sitemaps, you'll see that I have two sitemaps. One of them called first, and the other one is called second map. So if you click, well, maybe not here. If I click edit, you'll see this file is called first-sitemap.xml, and then the other one, it's called second.sitemap. And then we take it one step further, because we have site indexes as well. A site index allows you to group more than one index. So instead of you exposing multiple sitemaps, you can have a sitemaps with all your indexes, or a sitemap index with all your sitemaps. So in this case, I actually create a sitemap, and if I click inside of it, you'll see that this index, that sitemap, include my first, it contained the first sitemap, but it does not include the second map. And I did that on purpose just so I can show how it's included in the robots file. So we don't basically include the site index multiple times. So because I enabled this feature, and in my settings, I have this option selected, which is include all sitemaps, which is checked by default, by the way. You can go in here and refresh, and you'll notice that your sitemaps are being included. But we only see the index, and we only see the second. We don't see the first sitemap. And the reason why it's not here, because it's already included in your site index. So because first is included in the site index, there is no need to add it here. So if we go back to the sitemaps, and we decided to update this index or disable this index, right? So let's disable this index, and we go here and refresh. Now you no longer see your index, but you see your first and your second sitemaps. So it just, it's a nice way so you don't have to manage the robots.txt file automatically. This is all automated just because we know sitemap really should be included in your robots.txt file unless you chose otherwise. But by default, this will be the default behavior of the site. Yeah, so this is everything. So the implementation, because I know Sebastian said he wanted to talk about it. So currently what we have a robots provider that allow you to, using code, to add anything that you want to the file. So for example, if you have a module that wants to disallow to a specific route or disallow to some resources. That can be done very easily by implementing the iRobots, and then you can say disallow whatever I want. And so during the if that feature is enabled, we'll automatically understand that you were trying to disallow access to something, and then we will add it here. And then, like I mentioned, on the top of it is that you know part of the settings that you can add any additional rules that you really wish. And this is optional, so if you want, you can add it. And if you decided, you know, you don't want sitemaps, you can disable sitemaps, and then they'll go away. So that's all I have. Let me know if you want to look at some code, because I know you mentioned you want to look at this, and or if you have any questions, comments.
So first, the stupid comments, which is you have an SEO tab, or isn't it called robots under the SEO tab?
I'm sorry, see that again? Say that again?
You have an SEO menu item on the admin instead of a robots menu item under the SEO menu item.
Correct. And that's because SEO is part of the sitemaps. And this right here is a settings. So under settings here, you know, we have all the settings listed right under settings. So that's where that goes. And then, you know, in the future, we can add anything SEO related to the settings here.
Because settings. Yeah, but sitemap is not settings.
Correct. But this only becomes available if you have, this right here. Wait. So if you close the settings, hang on, let me close this up, which is settings. Okay, so now you'll see there's a SEO. Wait, now I'm confused. Hang on, let me close this up. Okay, let me go here, just to navigate away. Wait, okay, so it's closed. Now you go in here. I'm not sure why it's even showing up. It should only show up if I go to settings. That is weird. Yeah, I'm not sure. I have to look because it should be under settings. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there it is. So if you close the settings, that settings SEO goes away, but then you have the SEO, which is sitemaps.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
it's like a technical, it's SEO, it's in settings because technically it's a settings thing, but under SEO we don't have setting things. Now it's like, that's weird. I think it should be under SEO robots, whatever kind of things it is, even if it's some kind of settings, it should be under SEO robots. So you have SEO robots, sitemap, whatever.
True, but what if we want to add other SEO settings to it, right? So this will be a general, I mean, in my mind, this should be called sitemaps, not SEO in here.
Okay. So that's the first weird thing. And then technically, so the include sitemaps in robots, this is implemented in the robots feature or the sitemaps feature?
Which one?
When you go to the SEO for robots.
This one is implemented in...
Go in the SEO for robots. Open the page you created, the settings.
Yeah.
No, the settings. Include all sitemaps, the checkbox. Where is this coming from?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. Let me see. I think it's part of the... Yeah, it's part of the sitemaps.
And there is a conditional feature that says if robots is enabled.
Yeah, see right here. If the SEO module is enabled with the sitemaps, we're gonna include that driver.
That's good to call it SEO because it's really just robots. It's not SEO.
Well, the feature exists already and it's called SEO. So this is something we already have. It's called
Okay,
orchardcore.seo.
so there is a and the robots implementation you make it in the same feature.
Correct. Yeah, because I think it's SEO related stuff, so that's why.
I would have created a different feature because it's really to manage robots. So it could be part of the module, but a different feature. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yes, I get it, and I kind of thought about it, but in my mind, if you're opening SEO, Robots.txt is part of SEO. Like if you're trying to optimize your site, right? Part of it is SEO.
It is part, but do you have to? Like, I don't want you to manage my robots. I just want to enable the SEO, some SEO features that maybe are called, I don't know, something. I don't know about SEO, but like inject meta tag for title. Okay, but I don't want robots. So
yeah, but part of Robot.txt is recommended for any site, right? Whether you want to do SEO or not, because that's how you can tell the robots whether to.
But do you want the management UI for that? Maybe you just want the file and you're fine with that. Like, yes, you want a Robots.txt file. You don't care about the management UI in Orchard. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, with a feature, because now you have to enable SEO feature, and then if you want to robots, you can go and enable robots. I mean, it's all. I don't know. I disagree, but if that's what you want, I can change it.
I'm just trying to understand. Do we have other features in the SEO module?
Here's SEO. No.
And what does it do today? It's just SEO meta, blah blah blah. So there is no feature. Okay.
It provides the part. Yep, and yep, exactly. You can attach and you can control. What you want.
So that's the reason for me to not have another feature, because there is not a single feature right now. It would have been nice to have a feature for the, so we don't enable SEO, but we enable something called meta part or something like that, or meta tag management, and then that creates the parts and everything. So, and then we could have had robots and everything. Okay, good. So then another question, the checkbox. So it is part of the it is part of the sitemap. Then how is the UI integrated in the settings? It's a site setting with a group.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay,
if you go into that driver here, which is right here, you'll see that I'm using the same group ID as a same group ID used by the other module.
Perfect.
So,
and then there is a shape, okay, sitemap robot settings. And then you have in this module, you also have a provider, iRobots provider.
Yes. And that is right here. Okay, so this provider allows you to loop through all your sitemaps and include.
Okay, can you show the interface now?
That's it. It's just one method.
Okay, I will tell you to change the name for sure when you have the PR.
Say that again.
The name is not content ascending. It should be a verb. And
okay.
Yeah, probably get content ascending for them.
Okay.
Like just minor things, but yeah. Awesome. Looks good. Because you can configure the UI with anything, then it drives the provider. The provider is not driven by the UI on a explicit way. Like you could have a provider that just adds something without UI, like all the time. So the text, the one where you have a text box and you can add anything, it's a custom provider and a custom setting, also UI, custom shape.
Yeah, so that's another provider that we have in the SEO module here. And so right here, we basically check the settings. And if you say include all, we include this. And if you say disallow admin, we disallow admin. And then additional rules. There's additional rules.
Yeah, you have a typo, deallow instead of disallow. And on the settings, line 35.
What's wrong? I'm sorry?
35, disallow. There is a typo. You see it on the PR. 35,
okay.
settings.deallow.
Disallow.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Okay, I see it.
Something else also I'd like to see is in the UI, you have checkboxes like disallow admin or something like that. As a noob, I have no idea what other route to allow web robots is or other route to disallow web robot. It's kind of already sufficient, but I'd like to see the hint text and the URL to some documentation on some well-known website to explain what it is and what it will add. Like in the hint here, you could actually write what will be added to the robots, like user agent : star.
Yeah, just put ads that got it. Okay.
Yeah, just to know, like, because when I read that, even if I'm good, I might not understand what it will do. So I would like to see what it will add for the people who already know, and then maybe a link to explain why you need to do that or why you need to a documentation, something like that. Not our, but something online so people can read and understand what it means. That would be interesting. Like from MDN or Google or whatever, some very well-known documentation about that.
Okay.
Thank you. Perfect, everyone. Thank you.
No problem.
Good. So let me share again that screen. You can see that I was looking for what does the robots can contain, like sitemap, these things, you see the disallow, and the fact that then we could have multiple providers providing different things, like for media, hiding files and everything. So that would be good.
Yeah, exactly. And you can put all that into the custom settings. So that's what's nice, that you can actually do that still.
Yeah, and the link to that from the UI would be nice. So people can read some documentation and understand what it means. And I also discovered that I'm not sure if it's just Google, but instead of the meta tag, you can have a header in the response also. Maybe it's not standard, so I don't know. So you mentioned a topic.
There is a PR that it will be super helpful if you can. Maybe I'm going about it the wrong way. But if you look at PR, right here, 13855, that third one. Yeah. So one of the, I kind of tried to explain it in the issue, but I have I have a content. So we have a customer content type. Then I have a transaction content type. In order for me to be able to create a transaction content type, I have to have a customer, right? So either I select a customer from like a content picker, or I would contain that transaction inside a list part. So like if you have a customer profile, and then there's a list part on there, and then one of the parts or one of the items is a transaction. So any transaction that customer ever did, it'll be listed in their profile. So when we create a new contained item, so if I want to go create a transaction inside contained, which is a list part, I want to hide the customer picker because I already know the customer because it's already contained in my list part. So I can easily do that using a provider or a shape table provider, and I can say, hey, if there is a contained part, just don't show it because I already have the customer information. There's no need for it. However, that doesn't work today because during the edit, we do not attach the contained part. We attach it during the post, but not the GET request. So this PR, I say we add it to the GET request because it's a contained part anyway. We know it's going to be added. This way, any other handler that wants more information about the contained information will have it. Because see, the thing is with the contained part, that container ID and container ID type, those are all hidden. So they should be the same value when you do the issue the post request. I'm just not sure if there's a better way to do it than attaching it on the GET request.
On the GET request, what do you mean? Where is this
Well,
GET?
so we build the editor on the GET request, right? And then we call the update async on the post.
I see what you mean. Okay. So on the edit.
Yeah, so what we're saying here,
Oh,
during
you
the
are doing
edit,
an alter on the edit. That's very bad, right?
why it is bad? Because at this point, we can tell anyone that's interested that, hey, this content item, which is new, most likely, it's going to have a contained part at the end of the day. And here's the contained information. So really that only alter the object in memory.
Should it be
right?
if it's new?
Well, it is, because at this point, if you go up here, see if that item already contained part, we don't continue. We return whatever information that contained part already has. But when you create a new item, we basically populate a view model or a view with hidden information. Yeah, you see that? So if it already exists, which is an old one, we return that info.
The code was there before, but it's still there also.
This is on the post.
Yeah, so why do it again then? Because this code is exactly the same as this one.
Correct. But this happens only during the GET, and the other one happens during the post. So this is when we're saving the record in the database. So we attach it.
Yeah, but do you want to? I see, because it's not persisted here. It's just for display.
Correct. But at least whoever wants to do anything with that information will be able to, before or when rendering. Like in my case, I'll say, okay, well, if this content item has contained part, then I know, hey, I don't need to display a customer selector at this point because I already have that information. Because see, without this, I would almost have to replicate line 81.
Okay.
Which is not,
Okay.
So this is, you think it's good here?
Seems good, yeah. Yeah, okay. Good. What else? Anything else?
No, that's it. Yeah. Do you you want me to just merge that robots feature after I fix those couple things?
Yeah, sure. It's very fine if you want. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. See you on Thursday. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. No, oh, yeah. Nope, not see you on Thursday. Or maybe just the beginning. Let's see. Maybe just the beginning. I have an appointment at 11 sharp. And I will leave before. So see you on Thursday and next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
See you.
Thank you.